one will be massive. Legacy 2026, the Independence Edition. Saturday, February 7th, 8 p.m., Rodney Bay Pavilion. It's the big war. Legacy presents one of the Caribbean's greatest artists ever, the undisputed queen of soca, Destra. Yes, Destra Garcia. Destra. Then our groovy giants, Teddyson John, doing his vintage set.
I must have a woman to come and wine up on me.
And King Appa. Plus the outstanding St. Lucian cast, a mix of legends and rising stars. Ashanti, Educator, Desral, Manchas, Black Eye, Short Pants and more. Legacy 26 will be an epic show. Saturday, February 7th, 8 p.m., Rodney Bay Pavilion. Limited early birds $120, regular $150. Tickets available at Steve's Barbershop and The Way. Sponsored by Republic Bank, Massey Store, First Citizen, IBS Solution, Piton Bear, Crystal Clear Water, Flow, and the Independence Committee.
Come on, come on again, everybody.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Another wonderful Friday afternoon to you, everyone. It is the 23rd day of the month of January 2026. This is The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, rejoined today by my co-host, Terry Fenelon. And of course, we're in the company of our trusted and reliable technical operator, Alton Jaquan Joseph. Joyfully, we have completed 2 weekly cycles of the program for the new year since we resumed on Monday the 12th. Our program, as you know, airs weekdays from 12:30 until 2 p.m. on the radio station Real FM that serves you on 2 frequencies, 91.3 for the north and 91.5 for the south. We're also on our sister television station, MBC, and that's available on the Flow Cable TV service, channel 120. We are on Facebook Live and on YouTube live streaming as well. I'll make my comments very economical. Well, don't I always say that, and then I go for a whole half hour, you know? But that's not going to happen today. In terms of the gun amnesty that the police have announced, I kind of tell myself it's a good idea. The way it was explained, I think they did a good job. But I kind of wonder, do you want to be foul-shaying people who have laid their hands on an unlicensed firearm that they themselves don't know what that firearm has been used for, what it has done before it passed into their hands? So when you're telling them up front that any crime that this firearm, has been involved with, that basically they'll be held to account for it. Yes, it's true, it's correct, it's the right way to go, but is that something you want to put up front? You want them to bring in the guns. You want to surrender. And if your investigations reveal that, look, this gun, ballistics are showing that this gun is the one that was used in the killing of such and such a person, then you have all your rights to reel back the person who surrendered the firearm and ask them questions. Well, how did you come upon it? Although I suspect that should be part of the bringing it in. Where did you get it, etc., etc. Do your testing, do your questioning. But what you want to do is to get those firearms off the streets. Get them out of the wrong hands. Get them out of the hands of people that they should not be in their hands, first and foremost. And then everything else will follow after. I'm not saying anything wrong has been done. I'm just saying sometimes we may need to refine and sharpen, whatever it is that we are doing so that we have, the success. It's the same with some people who are vehemently opposed to the distributing of condoms to inmates in prison. That's encouraging them. They should not be thinking of having sex. They should not have sex. Sex should not be part of what, they are allowed to partake of and to enjoy and to participate in. Well, yeah, that's true. We accept that. But the fact is that they do it. And they do it often with each other, with other inmates, male on male, etc., etc. So then you go, the condom is not any guarantee that they're going to wear it, that they're going to use it. But you give as good a chance and as good an opportunity as possible for them not to get themselves infected and to infect other people, because one day they end up getting, released, and they go back home to their families, to the wife or girlfriend who has been struggling with 3 children while they're in there. They fit themselves back into their lives, whether because, one missed the other or because there's intimidation. A guy who was a bad boy before he went to prison is hardly ever a better guy when he comes back. And when he has a woman that he can threaten and that he can intimidate and virtually impose himself upon her, maybe before he goes back to prison again, what is he carrying? What is he transmitting? What is he giving? Out in the society, he relinks up with his gang people and so on, in the drugs and so on. He gets his hands on money. He's able to, seduce a couple of young girls and so on. And what is he spreading there? So sometimes we have to break out of the mold of thinking that being very heavy-handed and on a high horse and we don't want to move at all. But at the end of the day, are we achieving what we set out to achieve? I remember many years ago, I had quite an argument with a former school principal of mine. And she called me in the newsroom at Radio Senusha at the time to complain about this thing about they setting up jazz shows for the inmates of Bodiley. Is that what they want to be doing, to put in jazz, like letting them have fun, letting them have the time of their life when they should be in a place where they're reflecting, capacity chapleo. And the concept of rehabilitation, that when you expose prisoners to educational opportunities, to a jazz show and so on, sometimes even when they were out, they never went to a jazz show because they probably saw it as the high society thing, the big shot thing. And a lot of the people who get involved in crime are people who are hugging and skirting, the margins of the society. They are people who probably don't feel that they amount to anything, that they, that they have any value in themselves. There's certainly very little self-esteem, very little pride, if that is applicable there. How when you can show people like that, when they are at the depths of their downfall in terms of falling through the cracks, that they are prisoners, but that they can enjoy. You make them realize, oh my goodness, you mean this is what I'm missing? You mean this is what I could have been participating in? You mean this is what I could have been enjoying? Maybe at some point they discover a talent in themselves for some music, whether to be a drummer, whether to be a saxophonist and so on. And you open vistas of possibility and opportunity to those people. Who knows whether that may lead to so much interest that you might end up having one of the jazz musicians having regular, even if it's once a month or twice a month, going there and guys taking up sax and so on. Getting people to take their minds off what they're accustomed to by opening up to them, like I said, new openings of opportunity and so on, can work wonders for this thing called rehabilitation, which can otherwise prove to be so challenging. Terry, I'm keeping my word. Over to you. Comrade Son Ballot.
Now, as I told you, as you walked in there, man, that red shirt on me, on you there, man, that's what I should have had. Because I'm still in campaign mode,
All right,
so
okay.
I am like, this guy, I'm following Nehemiah.
Okay.
We are building the wall, but we must keep our arms, not because your enemy smiles at you for you to lay down the gun, Shelton. You must never do that. You must always be prepared.
But afterward, there is something called demobilization.
Yeah. But we must keep an army, together in case, because Simusapa Bifkoyo. Shelton, today is the 23rd, and it's Nobel Laureate Day.
Indeed.
Now, before I come back to that, Karen, I think I have that right. Karen Tobia? Karen Tobia. We close and sometimes the names. She made a point, and I want to agree with Karen Tobia. Last night you had the launching of the Jazz Festival.
The press launch, as they call it, the press
launch. The presser. Great stuff. And at the same time, you are having the lecture for Sir Arthur Lewis.
Yeah,
come on, man. We have to coordinate better than that. And I'm agreeing with Karen. I mean, if there's a committee looking at, you have to look at these things. We should not have a clash. To tell me that they have their people. No. Some persons who I want to tune in, they have interests. I like the jazz thing, the jazz roro. I like the hype. I saw our technician there. Jacquan was there in all his glory, man. Yeah, good. And look today, what has happened, Shelton? You have the reef laying ceremony at the Mon, and you also have the launching of the battle relay. Make it make sense.
Well, I don't know, Terry. I believe that if we have to give a dedicated day to every event that is of national import and significance, we probably will run out of days. Perhaps the organizers, if they were aware that that was going on, believe or want to believe that we have sufficient diversity and sufficient, not just diversity, but basically we have sufficient capacity in our country, that we are able to handle a multiplicity of events, to each his own. The cultural people, the literature people, maybe let's just take one example, Robert Lee.
Right.
Might be a man that is all into Arthur Lewis Memorial Lecture, but he ain't a man who too hot on jazz and those kind of things. So you might find different people, different strokes for different folks, and maybe all of those events that you mentioned, or at least two of them on a given night, that they can draw their own crowds and have sufficient,
Whereas I want to agree with you, Shelton. But perhaps you could stagger it in terms of time. You could have the two things happening on the same day, but at different times. They should not clash. That's my point. They should not clash. I mean, because hello, Shelton, I would have loved to tune in, to the jazz thing. Why? But then I'm torn. So at least if you have it on the like what is preventing the battle relay from being launched at 6 p.m. today? People tune into programs in the evening. Can I help you? Starts at 8:30, right? Stuff. So stagger it. Don't we should not be having that kind of clash, man. No. I on that one I want. Although I understand what you're saying, Shelton, I want to hold to my horses, and I want to support Karen Tobia in that. We ought not to let those two things. We should not have competing events like that on a national. It's national. All of these things are national events. And my attention should not be split down the middle. That's a song, right? Split in the middle.
Split in the middle.
My attention should not be split in the middle, man. At least if I can attend one physically, I do that, and then when I go home, I could tune in to the live broadcast of stuff. So the organizers, please, we want to support all our events, right? Like today, Nobel Laureate Day, I got to know that by accident. I was just trying to put up something for Jacquan, and I saw AA. I saw the Prime Minister's limousine pull up. I was like, AA. Martin himself, sir, and at the same time, Isai Hall is launching the battle relay. No, these are national events, and they should not clash. We should not have that clash at all. That's all I'm saying. We can do it. Yes, as you call it, Robert Lee might. Who says Robert Lee might not be interested in the jazz too? That's because he can incorporate that in his.
It's not anything I know.
No, I just said that. No, I just said use the example. I just stayed on that. So, in future. I mean, let's coordinate better than that. Yes, you could have free lunches on one day, but 1, 2, 3, so we all participate in the thing. Because don't forget, Shelton, during the campaign, some of us were on free platforms. 1, 2, 3, we could make it. Let us do the thing. Let us do the thing properly. Now, Shelton, I must tell you, I have some sad news. I made some people very uncomfortable on Tuesday. Ladies and gentlemen, my brother and I were out yesterday doing stuff for you know what, and he says, "Man, bro, I am scared for you." I said, "That's life." Now, on Tuesday, Shelton, in your preamble, I mean, you're fantastic as usual, and you brought up the drought, right? And right away it hit me there. Yes, we have droughts and stuff, but we should have been in a better position. I'll keep saying that, I will keep saying that, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think yes, it's political, not partisan, but political. Because when you make decisions, these decisions have consequences. When we threw out the Labour government in 2021, there were 4 legacy projects.
When you threw out which government in 2021?
When the Kenny Anthony administration, 2016, sorry, 2016. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Shelton. When we threw out the Kenny Anthony administration in 2016.
We threw them out, or they?
Well, yeah,
don't put us in that.
Don't put us in that.
You and I would have never done that, of course.
Of course not. We're too smart for that. There were 4 legacy projects. I don't know if Jacquan can pull it up. With the picture of Dr. Anthony and the 4 projects I did not come to do that this day, but sometimes the technician, he has to be alert. He's good. He has his things saved up, and I keep saying that. Dr. Anthony was about to transform the land in, ways that we don't understand. Let me try to remember projects off my head. Well, St. Jude Hospital, that was on stream, And these fellas, they send a human measuring tape, but I don't want to go over that. HIA, which is back on stream. The Fallen Highway and the Administrative Center. These were legacy projects. I don't have Wasco there, but we're going to talk about Wasco. Again, I'll lose more friends over that because in this thing, man, when it comes to national business, I take no prisoners. Had those things been done or continued, because government is about continuity, had they been continued, we would not have been in the mess. You're going up the highway, Shelton, it takes you forever. But I'm a guy, I like the back roads. Take that how you mean.
No comments.
It takes you forever because traffic is crawling. Then we had a package for the Fallen Highway. Signed, sealed. Yes, that one, you can put it up. Thank you, Jacquan. Leave it there. So every time I pass there, I have to hit my head. I make a detour. If I'm coming from Entrepot, man, I just use the roads in the back road. Go up Bocage, I can pass through Babunu, go through Deramu, and reach Grosley in no time.
Okay.
But the Fallen Highway should have been done because these things were already in train.
Yes.
We have to. So we have to hold people responsible. You turn that up. The PPP, no charge to the consolidated fund. You'll mash that up. The administrative. Why should somebody from Viewford have all up here to get his license? This is 2026. Anyway, we dealt with them, and they will not. We have buried it. Well, we have one more to take. I was about to say, we have to bury them completely. When we take Miku South, never to rise again. But then Shelton, Wasco, and I'm going back to Wasco. You go put up the stuff, and I'm going to read something from one of my classmates. We good Sumerians. We stick together, steady boys, and step together. That's why I had a problem with Bradley. Bradley was too bright to allow a nincompoop to lead him. So when Shelton made the comment about the drought, it just hit me. Now I have a very good graphic artist. We have a lot of things in the pipeline that we have not released yet. So sometimes when I toy with an idea, I send it to my graphic artist. You don't know if it's male or female, and they refit, send it back to me. So I have stuff stored there. I had stuff for a long campaign, but I couldn't read the Prime Minister. He called it early and stuff. But we have to revisit. And I'm going to read something from my former classmates. Leave it up there. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 years we dredging the dam. Spent 68 million. We went over budget from what I can tell. And we were only able to dredge 8% of the dam. Shelton, that is taxpayers' money. That was squandered. Put up the payments. Because I had the lawyers are monitoring the show to see if they can sue. I was told so, Watch it, be careful, or Put up the one.
Even somebody actually threatened you?
Well, that's the text. I read it, and communication has stopped.
Wow.
So, but I am not afraid. I don't spew lies. I told you already. I'm here to give the missing information. 3 workers, $150,000 a month, $125,000 a month, $100,000 a month, $375,000 a month for 3 workers. That's $4.5 million in 1 year. So for the 2 years of that contract, they made $9 million salary. Ladies and gentlemen, let that sink in. And I'm going to call upon Kifo. Kifo, you knew. But you see that report? Stevenson King gave us a little bit of it. He said in the report says what? They were unqualified claims. Now I want that explained. Forged document. That's Stevenson King. That's in Hansard, You understand? So, while you're there, pull up the text I just sent you there. Now I want to read a text from my classmate because we discussed that in the group. And some people, although that was in the public domain for a long time, it's only after we did the graphic, people told me that they understood. And I'm going to take the advice of one of an elder. He says, Philalo, you are an educator. And you know how people learn. Some people can see, they learn through the visual, some oral, etc., some tactile. Put up the things. If you need a blackboard, and I'm going to do that going forward. And we're going to take out, we're no rush. But some things. So let me read from my friend Nigel Edwin. Nigel, I asked his permission because we were sharing SMC group. I asked him privately, comrade, would you mind if I shared your writing? Because we're holding our government to account, our present government. It's my government. Well, our government. But they have to table the things that we have paid for. So, $68 million was spent on a dam drainage project. And years later, the dam is still not drained. 8%. After all that money, and all that time, we are left with a dam operating at roughly 50% of its capacity, while citizens continue to endure perennial water shortages, rationing, dry taps, and the humiliation of having to beg for a basic human necessity. You spot on, Nigel. I'm with you. When I heard this, I was shocked, but not surprised, as I was immediately brought back to reality. What's new? I'm taking my time. I will circulate it, because that's important. Heads must roll. This is not just unfortunate. This is a monumental failure. I agree. Shelton, $69 million. 2 years. 3 men made $9 million in salary. Earned. Well, I don't know if they earned. In salary. And now we're coming about drought. So, yes, we have to harvest rainwater. So I agree for all that. But, fill in the blanks. Let's go on. This is a monumental failure. Outside the St. Jude Hospital catastrophe, this is to me one of the most glaring examples of public sector governance collapse in St. Lucia. The kind of failure that exposes how weak our systems are for project monitoring, financial control, implementation oversight, and accountability. Very good, Nigel. I'm with you. Now give us some blows. At a $68 million project is not small change. that is nothing to 68 million. That is taxpayers' money. That is national development money. That is money that could have strengthened hospitals, upgraded schools, fixed roads, improved drainage, built water storage, modernized water distribution systems, and brought real relief to communities that have suffered for years. Instead, we spend tens of millions. And what do we have? Let us see, what do we have? A dam still not drained. A system still underperforming. A population still suffering. Go to Piat and Granivier. Headache for water, you know. For days on end. Days on end. Weeks. An official culture that behaves as though waste on this scale is normal, and that is the problem. My Prime Minister and Kifo, it cannot be business as usual. And here is what we must call out. Instead of holding people accountable for monumental wastage, we simply highlight the issue, make some noise, shake our head, and then allow the same system, the same contractors, the same decision makers, the same supervision failures to continue as if nothing happened. Nigel, I'm with you. We figure out, yeah, it's okay, 8% rate, 68 million, it's okay. No, it's not okay. We are not serious about development if failure has no consequence. Hello? Let me read that again. We are not serious about development if failure has no consequences. Come on, man. $68 million, 8% of the thing, and we just move on like that? Nah. We are not serious about public service if millions can be burned and the public is expected to just move on. A man collected $2 million for doors at the box, and not one door has been in place. Shelton, that is the, what did Bloom Cooper say? Inch. Yeah, that's your favorite quote. Send it to me. I forgot. It's a culture of indifference to corruption. That is corruption. I'm not saying anybody stole money, but that kind of wastage. Somebody must answer. Now, I'm warning you, I'm going to be on Right and Rice. So if you all believe you're not tabling these reports in the House, fake them in, because... So yes, we can post about it. I did. We can play politics again and again. Yes, I did. But until we demand names, yeah, names must call, man. Don't tell me special prosecutor. Names must call. But we demand names, answers, investigations, recoveries, and consequences. The show will go on. But until we demand, let me read that properly. But until we demand names, answers, investigations, recoveries, and consequences, the show will go on. The show must not go on. Today is the 23rd Nobel Laureate Day. I said we are due, but forgive me. Yesterday and today, too hectic. I did not even work with my books. Hello. So when one asks, now that's Edwin. Nigel, listen. No one has silenced you. I want you to continue to highlight. Give us pressure. Because these fellows have no opposition. We must be constructive in our criticisms of the government. We must act. And so when 3 men can collect $9 million on a 2-year contract, you have Martinez there? You have Martinez there? You look that. I smell a rat. I don't want to say it. So yes, sir, the one who told me and he has unfriended me. Tell your lawyers, look at the tapes. I ain't calling no names. I'm stating the facts. And I'm asking that there are several reports to be made in the house, you know.
I smell a rat. I smell a rat. I smell a rat.
So we're going to talk about that until that report is brought to the house and people be held accountable for that kind of wastage of taxpayers' money. It cannot be business as usual. We cannot maintain the status quo. Shelton.
Real Issues powered by Blue Waters. It's 1 o'clock and we'll go for our commercial break. And when we return, Terry will continue and not long thereafter, we'll be opening the phone lines.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
This one will be massive. Legacy 2026, the Independence Edition. Saturday, February 7th, 8 p.m. Rodney Bay Pavilion. It's the big war. Legacy presents one of the Caribbean's greatest artists ever. The undisputed queen of soca, Destra. Yes, Destra Garcia. Destra. Then our groovy giants, Teddyson John, do him his vintage set.
I must have a woman to come and wine up on me.
And King Alpha. Plus the outstanding St. Lucian cast, a mix of legends and rising stars. Ashanti, Educator, Desral, Manchas, Black Eye. Short pants and more. Legacy 26 will be an epic show. Saturday, February 7th, 8 p.m. Rodney Bay Pavilion. Limited early birds $120. Regular $150. Tickets available at Steve's Barbershop and The Way. Sponsored by Republic Bank, Massey Store, First Citizen, IBS Solution, Piton Bear, Crystal Clear Water, Flow, and the Independence Committee.
Come your police, come on again, everybody.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417, let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Much everyone for staying with the real issues on this Friday, Nobel Laureates Day, January 23rd, 2026, the completion approaching of our second week of the program since our resumption on January the 12th, and Terry Fenelon before the break was getting into some matters. Let's allow him to continue.
Yes, Sheldon. No, I'm since on the break, well, I got a voice note and a private message. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have won. I want these fellas gone, because the Matthias years, the years 2016 to 2021, I took that the dark ages, the Matthias years, because the domino was just Matthias. Things went awry. These fellas will not recover. And don't forget that you have a one-track mind. What? They got 32,000 votes. The next time around, there must just be the 20,000, just the diehards alone. We have to take at least 10,000 votes from them. Because how are we going to do that? By providing the kind of information the public needs, the truth. I'm not here to spew lies. They can call me all kinds of names. One wants to make me famous because I said Philip J. Pierre is the best prime minister in the OECS, and I stand by that. They tell me I'm talking a lot of, but it's a fact. Everybody follows Pierre. Deacon Michel just in the house went to table the youth economy. He went to table that. He copied it from his partner. What's wrong with all you? Gaston Brown, Gassi Dread, he has now decided to pay CXC for his students. Guyana decided to raise the minimum wage. Right now it's just $25 more. Theirs is $7.50. Ours is $7.25. And NIC is $500. You understand? All of the initiatives. Look, Mia Motley now is running on. Basically, what she's saying, put you first. If you follow the campaign in Barbados, and they're going to, the opposition, just like the UWP say, will get you quite can't see me, because the leader come and say, oh, they don't have posters. Imagine that. These fellows are caught so with their pants down. They can't put up one poster yet. And the excuse is, oh, we don't need posters to say who we are. Just dig us up pocket power. And you have nothing in the pipeline, and you have no money. Mia is going to steamroll y'all. Labor again. You understand? So, let me just go back on track there. Somebody asked, I have already circulated what's Nigel Edwin. Nigel Edwin, we are classmates. We clash a lot, but we cool. So, when you see, it must not be business as usual. Fellas, You'll have the information and you're sitting on it as the what? You'll learn to play bad guy. No, it's not. We have paid. And it's not, that's not your money. Taxpayers paid for reports. We must see what is contained in those reports. It's only right. It's only fitting. We had to go to St. Jude. I mean, for 5 years, you all promised a debate on St. Jude. Where's the debate? Put out the facts. We need to know about the dam. Put out the information. Don't give me a little snippet and tell me where there were forged documents and the report said about unqualified claims. We need to know. You know? Fellas get $9 million in salary for free guys. Twabug. You know what I mean? Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, it cannot be business as usual. And we're telling our government, we're not satisfied with that. We want the debate in the house. Let this guy, the Lone Ranger in the house, let him account. Well, we know he'll be walking up and down and flying out. You know, we need to know about the $2,000, well, let me put it in EC dollars, the $8,000 a night expenditure at the hotel. Was it an official business? Was it a private trip? What was the official business at that time? That the taxpayers had to fund almost $50,000 for the week. Who were present? What was the nature of the business? We have to know these things, people. We cannot just move on. It has happened. No! No! Because you know what people want to say? You're not doing it too. That is why you're the one to expose. No, I know you're not doing it. I know the Prime Minister I have. He will not indulge in such. But don't leave that to speculation and let people point fingers and say all politicians are the same. All politicians are not the same. You're not different. So show that. Come to the house. Debate those things. Let them in before the parliament. And let the public judge. So, I'm going to whip up. If I have to form my own pressure group, I'm doing that. Yeah, we have had a lady, Carlton, great stuff. You go call him to say that. I mean, all of that. What is it? Come on, man. Our politics must be different. And by tabling that in the house doesn't mean that you are being vindictive or you're going up. No. The reason why I'm happy that elections are over, when we do what we do, they cannot say it's politically motivated. You know, they were already beginning to say that when the special prosecutor went to question Nancy Charles and Spider and who else. So they already said it's because to influence the outcome. You know, the Zelevs. No! So that accusation cannot be pointed at us again. Because we have vanquished them. But we need the facts. And we need the heads to roll. The permanent secretary who signed that check for $7.3 million for vaccines. That's against the Finance Act. You only have to give 10%. But you paid in full, you a handwritten check, because what? SmartStream will not approve of it or whatever, it didn't go through. Come on, that's a low-hanging fruit. It cannot be business as usual. Heads must roll. And that Wasco thing is glaring. You spend, at that rate, we'd have had to spend almost $900 million to reseal the dam. At that rate. Come on. That's a monumental failure. And we cannot allow that to pass. As Nigel said, we can just move on as though that is, you know, that's everyday thing. No worry about 96 million. That cannot be right. That cannot be right in any jurisdiction, in any dispensation. Let the chips do what you have to do and let the chips fall where they may. I sent you something about it Sunday before we take the call, Shelton. Mm-hmm. Let's just promote that. Okay. Yeah, the AGM. Yeah. On Sunday, we go down to Swaze. Nukai jen rinkum. Nukai koyo TV rinkum la. We go down to Chozel, Swaze. On the 25th, that's Sunday. Sunday coming there. At the Old Catholic Boys School in Reunion. It starts, well, I know there's a closed session and the open session. I think the open session is at 3, but I know there's a lot of fellas, they like a lot of spree, they're going in line. I know fellas like Frank going down from Saturday. All right, Frank? So, we head down to Chozel, the conference. I mean, that's why you see that the fellas in yellow, they're not a party, it's a side. Up to now, they cannot come together. Anyway, leave those fellas alone. Leave that side alone. So, folks, we head down to Kifo's land. You know, we'll get a few incomes there. We're going to talk party business on the 25th of January. So, Shelton, I think I can rest. I don't do, you know, the way I have started there, I don't want to go back in anything else. So maybe you could open the lines if you so desire.
All right, 487-9849, that's the number on which you can WhatsApp call us. Area code 758, of course, 487-9849. And you can also reach us on the landline 4533-911. Get that? WhatsApp call 487-9849 and local landline 4533-911. Okay, we're ready to take your calls. And don't forget, we're going until 2 o'clock when we have to sign out for the day. I think we're getting our first call. On the landline, you're on the air. Go ahead, Real Issues. Hello?
Mr. Sheldon Daniel.
Hey, forward la ki nou velo.
Hey, no, Luna. Luna.
Lula.
Hello?
Lula.
Nou ka wepon nou?
Apre papa monte forward la, I don't man ye. Le, mod la forward la ya. La moun kap la priye mwen. La moun la priye mwen, papa monte de mwen londe mwen. Ki sak mwen seman, et mwen vive la vie mwen sou la paix. Et vive bay les autres pa mwen yon. L'en apre de se moun kap a piye. Yon ni tout sot kalte parole piyo bay la talk show. Kade sa nan la de forward la. Mais pas nan rien ka affecte. Ça qui a publié moi, quand tu te bagaille qui la fait qui affecte ce forward la yon qui a affecté. Parole mais ou quoi ça empêche me parler. La dit ça qui a affecté relateur moi-même. Yo ka pris je te ba la prière mais la teni moun, je pas de ça même que te chez vous demander. C'est si un rappel demander. Puis c'est pas on dit moi à radio 100. Moi qui te Mansi, moi qui te leader, car lead comme non moun. À Soutan, c'est mon notre ban l'autre de moi. Car moi me peut dire là Bastille docteur Kenny Anthony. C'est ça. Mais Mr. Sheldon Daniel l'a dit avec la femme on va coûter guest ou capitaine moi. Ça qu'a brûlé moi là n'attend coutier tout Dieu c'est coutier papa bon Dieu. Mais pas dit vite la prière moi. C'est bien moi assigné la garder. A qu'on a dit ça là, on a vu chauffer, manger, brûler, ça fait deux. The sacred heart and the holy consecration, mercy Jesus, Redeemer of the human race, look down upon us, humbly prostrate before your altar, we are yours and yours. We wish to be, but to be made surely united with you. Behold each one of us consecrate himself to your most sacred heart. Many indeed have never known you. Many to displeasing your precepts have rejected you. Have mercy on them all. Most merciful Jesus, and draw them back to the harbor of truth. Humanity of faith, love Namade, pour nous toutes à la tête, après Dieu for the nation, pour nous toutes, Mr. Sheldon Daniel, love for you, guess what, tout le monde qui a coûté, voix forward là special. All right, thank you very much.
Okay, all right. Let's see a forward là. All right, we're taking the calls 487-9849 and we have someone on the WhatsApp line now. Real Issues, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Bonjour, messieurs et dames.
Hey, bonjour.
Yes, everybody good?
Yeah, we okay.
A quick question. Yes, I'm asking for my neighbor. Where is Shelton, aka Gwenson? Maintenant, il y a Botley.
Nous pas voulons tenir à Botley chez toi.
Nous
pas voulons ça fait bouger ça.
Sinon là pas dormir, sinon là tu es passé juste quand on voulait venir lever.
Just comme ça.
No, me just take a check because me got student exercise day so I keep put value.
C'est dans le soir, il va en pièce misère. Il va en pièce misère pour la petite misère.
Oh, well, ça.
Non, il y a un gouvernement qui pas qu'à practice Belrose doctrine. Et pas un gouvernement c'est à cabaye. So c'est Jean de Bissau ça qui n'est pour venir pour Yoshimé, qui n'est pour manger, de l'eau qui n'est pour bailler courant, tout ça est fait. Il va continuer.
Everything is happening.
Et après ça, il y a un sénateur qui a pointé, il y a dans l'office premier ministre là. So ça ouais nom qui doit pas électé par faire. Prime Minister ka Siweki, that's Safet.
Petuk Bagay. Yes. Shelton, I see you highlight that. I've been following the political event in Barbados, and you could see where Prime Minister Motley is taking a pitch. Yeah, from Philip J. Pierre.
A lot of them.
A lot of us stuff is doing. Yes. It's brothers and sisters, no, Yes.
Right.
So, all right then, gentlemen. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for calling.
Okay, bye.
487-9849, the number on which this last caller just reached us. WhatsApp callers there. And the landline where we got our first call from Forwardla. The landline 4533-911. We are taking your calls right now on the real issues. All right, folks. Terry, anything else?
No, go ahead. You were about to say something?
No, go ahead.
No, I mean, one or two people on the chat, they're in agreement. They say enough is enough. I agree, and there's nothing now in this present dispensation preventing us from doing what we ought to do. We have to account. We voted you all, 16 of you all in. You all are basically stewards, you know. You're not bosses. You are stewards of our resources. You understand? Of what we have entrusted you all to lead. So when we have people who have committed, you said don't say sins, such atrocities, we cannot just bury our heads and say life goes on. No, life must not go on. And I'm going to be happy, and I'm telling you straight. I'm going to be on it, asking you all from time to time, please, when you go to the house, some of these things must be tabled. People must account. What informed your decision to give $7.3 million for vaccines when we had COVAX, right? We had it, getting that for free. I mean, what madness was that? How could we have done that? And you ordered vaccine, that we did not need. And then at the back of it, you're going to say, we are lucky that we got that. We have a call coming.
Okay, we have a call coming. I'll tell you what, let's take the landline first and let's hold the WhatsApp call for a while. Real issues, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Good day.
You're on the air. Go ahead.
How are you doing?
Doing great on you.
Okay, just like I want to echo Terry's sentiments. For far too long, government after government, especially Labour Party government, they always keep reminding us that the time will come when we possibly debate in the House, we debate St. Jude's, we debate Wasco, we debate this, and the debate never comes up.
Yeah.
I think this is because how do we have the election? Would we ever have that debate again?
Well, brother, we have to call for it.
That thing that is every record would have just disappeared. So we are back in the government now. I think this thing, and before the first year end, the Prime Minister should have debates about what, because we need to know what happened in St. Jude's. We need to know where all the money gone. We need to know what happened in Vasco. We need to know where all the money gone. We need to know about every other thing that this past UWP government, especially Saturday government, did to St. Lucia. We need to know about all the CIP files that were scrubbed at this river. Understand?
Yeah.
There's a reason why these files were scrubbed. We need to know why. What is the financial implications for St. Lucia? What is especially in terms of our passport? How many passports were stolen and we don't even know if it was recorded or was it recorded? We need to know how many passports you have sold and how much money has it collected. We need to know all of those things. So I don't think it will be wise for a 5 year to go up again, a 5 year thing to go up again, and we are none the wiser. Too many times we are producing reports and debates and nothing is happening. Take the Super Foundation report.
Correct.
I remember Miss Emily saying that table before the house. If it has a table or whatever, debate it. We need to know what's going on.
I agree.
Somebody has to, like tell you that somebody or some persons or some people, whichever one it is, have to be held accountable. We cannot have millions of dollars being squandered and being given away and nobody has been accounted with. We have the towns and village council reports. That was commissioned by Anthony.
We have the recommendations that have been accepted to cut the seats, especially Bruce.
Yes.
We were supposed to have done it in the last term. We didn't get it done. We need to get those things done between the first and the third year, because anytime you go beyond that, it's going to become the subject of commotion. So there are a lot of things that are dragging, and they're not dragging now. They've been dragging a while. I don't know why, to be honest with you, but we have a special prosecutor that was appointed.
Yes. This attorney general needs to get up and start pushing the button.
Okay.
You understand? He's a special prosecutor. Now I know that the man has been working, but nothing is performed as yet. You understand? But something has to happen, something has to break.
Justice must not only be done, it must be seen to be done.
Something has to break.
Yeah. Okay, caller. Thank you very much.
All right. Cool.
All right. We have another caller waiting on our WhatsApp line. Real Issues, you're on the air. Go ahead. Thanks for your patience.
Hi, good afternoon, Shelton and Terry. Carlton here.
Yeah, hi, Doc. How are you doing?
Happy New Year to everybody.
Thank you. Same to you.
Terry, notwithstanding that letter you read, I am sort of disappointed. This is coming out now. When all the stuff was going on, everybody was quiet. Now everybody expects the present government to clean up the mess. We knew what was going on. For example, we knew the tenders board was inactive. Contracts were being given out without due process. We knew the hospital was being constructed without bills of quantities. We knew that, contrary to the laws of St. Lucia, the architectural works were not certified by local architects. Everybody kept quiet. And that's the problem I have now. So it's all good and well to write those flowery letters. But to me, it makes no sense. Everybody's finding their voice now. And the thing is, the PM has said that he cannot prosecute. We have officers, we have offices that are supposed to do the prosecution. And they have failed. For example, the Integrity Committee, when they did their one report, they said that when we were in opposition, all members of the opposition complied with the law. On the government side, only Alan Chastney and Guy Joseph supplied information. But when the committee requested further information, they did not comply. So we have 17 members on the government side not in compliance. We knew this. The Integrity Commission supplied the report to the DPP. Nothing was done. Everybody kept quiet. Now we writing all kind of flowery things, expecting the Prime Minister to take action. Where was the outrage at the time when it was needed? That's the problem I have, when people are pointing, yes, they could do this, yes, but at the time when we had to put pressure, everybody was silent. The excesses I saw on the last Chastney's administration, and people just kept quiet. It was a daily occurrence. Now everybody's talking about there's no opposition, they have to put pressure on the government. I'm just upset at the whole thing, We've let the cat out of the bag,
Yeah.
The other point I wanted to talk about, just briefly. Today, we're celebrating Arthur Lewis and Derek Walcott. So Arthur Lewis and Sir Derek Walcott. And I wanted to point, Arthur Lewis wrote a theory of industrialization. He didn't write a theory of industrialization by invitation. We need to stop referring to his work as a theory of industrialization by invitation. It is a theory of industrialization. That term, industrialization by invitation, was sort of coined by some of the guys in the Caribbean who were jealous of Arthur Lewis, who wanted to ridicule his work. So that's all I wanted to say. Start referring to his work as a theory of industrialization and not a theory of industrialization by invitation. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right. We continue taking your calls, although we're very close to the time for our final commercial break. But let's take a call on the landline right now. Real Issues, you're on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. We answer you already.
Yeah. Happy. What is celebrating today?
Nobel laureates.
Nobel Prize winners, all of us are born in January. These where the billions come from. And then you all taking that as a sugar city. I mean, the mighty Allah knows what he was doing when he created January to put in the year, you know.
All right. You know, right these days we have fellas who coveting Nobel Prize so much, but FIFA had to create a peace prize for them. It will not surprise me if international taxi, whatever union or Uber, whatever.
We'll be talking there because I'm ready to make somebody take a jail now.
Might create a special prize for a certain fellow, you know.
Oh, I know that. Let me say this. I appreciate the letter that was read by my comrade, and then I believe that what my friends that speak before me says is that there are some kind of hypocrisy and cowardness, and always believed that the Labour would not go over the polls, so they were afraid to speak their mind because they have two ways. They are two ways. They caught on both sides. And why I appreciate that letter, and I appreciate what my comrade is doing, because we have been too quiet on what is going on, even with the prosecutor. I don't want to hear the man is working. The man is working on what? What is he working about? What is it that he's doing? I mean, 4 years, we are in the 5th year. We cannot have nobody has been arrested, nobody has been questioned, somebody was just talked to, and that's finished. So then, this is something that we need to look at, because I believe the time has come for us to now call a spade and do what is right. Free man cannot have $9 million in the coffer in 3 years. I mean, this is a madness. That is a country that is making their own money that can pay this kind of money. It's not St. Lucia. And this money was paid without seeing nothing for it. That is what I'm saying. You don't know what was done. I went up there to that place there. I mean, the place there, the place there is plugged as if there's no water coming out of there. So what was done is that money. The other thing that I want to say is that I did send a letter to my comrades in government about that Uber business. Now that Uber business is a serious thing. We should not take it lightly, because right now there we have lost about 1,000 hotel rooms that is under construction and things like this. We have increased the amount of drivers in St. Lucia by 700 taxi drivers, by 7,000 taxi drivers. Now, let me say this. We have to take this thing very seriously, because right now we don't have the amount of roads that we had like about 3 or 4 years ago, because of the amount of hotels that have the assurance, and they are happy with us, with our government, so they are expanding. They are doing things because they believe things is coming the way they're supposed to. The country is at peace. Crime is going down. Things is happening. People can walk up Rodney at any time in the night. And this is what St. Lucia was all about before. You could go on the beach if you have to look and lie down and look at the sunset and nobody troubles you. This was St. Lucia. But right now, we must be very careful with that Uber business. I am not happy with the answer by the Minister of Tourism. I'm not happy at all. I believe the Minister, because the Uber was tried in Barbados and Trinidad, and they threw them out. You know, and people who knows Uber will know. Uber do not work with organized groups. Uber is a Zuckerberg group. If you have the thing on your phone, you squeeze it. My wife going to the airport at 10 o'clock, you send a vehicle and pick you up. Uber don't want to work with organized group. So this thing that I believe the minister has to make it clear that my government, while I looked at an offer from Uber, that my government, I want the taxi drivers to have the assurance that we have their back. Because the government knows that people like me and others, not people like Terry and them, you know, people like Moby, not people that you say, I'll do anything to break down my government. And today, you know, I'm giving them a whole jazz for them to perform on it, to do the requirements. And the National Union Constitution is very clear that the National Union Constitution is clear that the Union cannot and should not take any project on their own. It has to be on behalf of an organization or a company or something like this. But this one was done by them, and they have their money, they eat, they drink over them by guns and everything like that. We need to be very careful. We do not give these fellas food to eat to kill us. Let's go down to Miku. Right now there, I hope the Prime Minister will not tell me he's giving Shasde money to develop Miku. We have our own minister in the house, a young lady that wants to do things well, because when the money was given to Shasde, was to take us to court. All the money that was given to Shasde, not his money. It was our money he was taking us to court with. Gentlemen, we must take this thing serious. And let us stop looking for people to like us, and let us do what is right. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, let's take our break right now. If we don't have any other caller on the line, Real Issues, powered by Blue Waters, will be back shortly for the final stretch of our program till we close up at 2 o'clock for today and for the week.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real Issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
This one will be massive. Legacy 2026, the Independence Edition. Saturday, February 7th, 8 p.m., Rodney Bay Pavilion. It's the big war. Legacy presents one of the Caribbean's greatest artists ever, the undisputed queen of soca, Destra. Yes, Destra Garcia. Destra. Then our groovy giants, Teddyson John, doing his vintage set.
I must have a woman to come and wine up on me.
And King Alpha. Plus the outstanding St. Lucian cast, a mix of legends and rising stars. Ashanti, Educator, Desro, Manchas, Black Eye. Short pants and more. Legacy 26 will be an epic show. Saturday, February 7th, 8 p.m., Rodney Bay Pavilion. Limited early birds $120. Regular $150. Tickets available at Steve's Barber Shop and The Way. Sponsored by Republic Bank, Massey Store, First Citizen, IBS Solution, Piton Bear, Crystal Clear Water, Flow, and the Independence Committee.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417, let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no.
Real Issues powered by Blue Waters. We're into the home stretch of the last 15 minutes and a little to go for today and for the week. The telephone lines are open for your calls. 4533911, the local landline, and you can also get us on 4879849. You can WhatsApp call us on that number. Someone sent me a text message where they said, "Hi Shelton, any geopolitics today? I would love to hear your views on the Davos, that's the World Economic Forum in Switzerland, I think, on the European Union, even on PM Carney and Trump." No, I kind of think it's become a little tiresome. I speak on it from time to time when there's a topic maybe I'm a little passionate about. But there's no shortage of coverage on that, on the international media. I think MSNBC in the States is particularly brutal on them. But Trump's latest thing about, the way he's spoken about Greenland, and then he went on to say about how the European forces were very cowardly during the Afghanistan thing. They held back. And I've never heard that line taken before. I mean, everybody's coming all out swinging. They're not afraid now. A guy who I felt had acted quite chicken, Keir Starmer is looking like he's riled up now. Macron, nobody is hiding or taking any prisoners or showing like they're a little coy about taking on Trump now. And I think that has caused him to kind of stand down a bit.
But the main man at that thing was Canada's Prime Minister,
Yeah, Carney.
That speech was a speech for the ages, man.
I mean, people are showing, look, man, we're not afraid to come out now and to take you on. And, so I don't really think it's necessary. Yeah. I mean, Donald Trump looks to me like somebody who could not be more unsuited to be the president of the United States, and I'll leave it at that. And I think Americans have woken up. Not they are waking up, they have woken up. It's just that they want constitutional order. Are you there, caller?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Shelton. Good afternoon, Jerry.
Yeah, good afternoon. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, I caught the end of, I think, a previous caller, who was speaking about the special prosecutor. I mean, did you all have, did you respond to him in terms of what you thought?
Not at any great length or substance, Yeah.
Oh, because I too, I am getting concerned about the role. I mean, I know that government cannot directly intervene. Maybe the Prime Minister cannot even pick up, or should not pick up the phone and call the special prosecutor. But I'm sure that, the public, well, that's the...
John Compton would have found a way to communicate his displeasure. And then it would have found a way. It would have been effective, I can tell you.
No, I agree. Compton would have. All right? And generally, my feeling when I speak about that is that people are very unhappy with what has happened or what has transpired so far or not transpired, for want of a better term. And, I think it's time that the special prosecutor should play. And I think the Prime Minister should find a way to, since he's a creature of his government, to find a way of communicating to the public as to what has happened. I mean, we have invested, I'm sure, a few $1 million, and I don't know how much has been invested in the office so far. And as taxpayers, we are concerned. I am at least concerned, and I think that he should so state. I mean, we need to know what's happening there, where he's at, where is he going. You understand? The public cannot invest that sort of money into an office, and we know nothing. We know very little about what's going on. So, through your medium, Shelton, I hope that the Prime Minister will get the message that we need somebody to explain to us or tell us what is happening. That's my contribution to this.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think what we're witnessing, for example, with Donald Trump is the same thing we witness here in St. Lucia. That certain kids, men, they become men. When you see they're born with a golden spoon in their mouth and they're extremely wealthy, I think it causes them to be complacent and they don't care about the development of the intellect. They don't really care because at the end of the day, daddy's got a lot of money, which he's passed on to me and he's going to live for me. I mean, Donald Trump, before he even drove a stroke in his life, he inherited $200 million, US dollars we're talking about from his father, Fred Trump, who was very successful in engineering and building construction and that kind of thing. And it's a case where you get the feeling that Donald Trump, beyond the bluster and beyond the reality TV star, you're fired and all of that, Donald Trump ain't too bright. I'm sorry to say that, but you get the feeling that he ain't too bright. It's the same way with a certain fellow down here that Gaston Brown, without actually telling us, referred to as a not so bright, fellow Caribbean or fellow OECS Prime Minister. I got all this money and I've inherited it and I don't need to bother. Even if they might otherwise have had the capacity to become real super intelligent guys because they have the means they can pay, but they don't care because, who cares when it's been handed down to you, never had to sweat and work for it. And we need to be careful. Not necessarily because people have economic power, but people who have economic power, who are academically, intellectually, and otherwise where talent, is concerned, they don't really care. So the dumb guys who find themselves in positions of great importance, of great power and so on, but they don't really care. This is a fella, which explains why a prime minister of ours seems more concerned about jumping on a plane every morning and going to Dubai and going to this. And at the end of the day, for what purpose? What was he bringing? What was he getting? Living large, living high on the hog, going on junkets and so on, going to England and staying in hotel for, 2,000 pounds sterling, which is about 8,500 EC dollars every night. He don't care because this kind of money, it means nothing to him. That's his little pocket change that he plays with. So what the hell are people getting on like that for? That's the kind of money, I have 5 times that in my pocket, per day for me to go. So this kind of mindset came in, and it was also, money is no problem. He can give it away to anybody, to people who come with harebrained things about horse racing, and to people who come with some kind of Ojo kind of vision or something like that. He just give away money. The only people he wasn't giving it away to, he saw it, was the local people, the mostly dark-skinned people, the St. Lucian people. Take their money and give it away to foreigners who never know how hard we take it, what life we have had, you know, the whole slavery colonization experience, because as far as it's concerned, colonialism had a conscience. You know, it allowed us to live. We survived. It gave us the little bones and the chicken backs and the jaw, you know, which we have turned into delicacies and so on, because the main parts of the rump and the hind and the chops and so on, we know who it was going to. And so he's got that kind of, and I look at America and I say, that's exactly what has happened. A super rich guy who maybe he's got a degree, he doesn't care, you know. He doesn't care. He's heartless. He's insensitive. He can hurt people. The perfect definition of that narcissistic sociopath. They don't have the quality of empathy in them towards people. Donald Trump probably doesn't bother to study history, to read history. He would understand what NATO was born out of, you know. How the kind of war, the horrendous war, the slaughter that took place in Europe, where Presidents Roosevelt and Marshall and Truman, did we have a caller there? Sorry. Caller, you there? All right. Or maybe I didn't release the last one there and so on. You know, they set about a plan for rebuilding Europe because they saw it was not just the massacre of people that took place, it was the complete devastation of economies and society and people in starvation. And said, look, twice we have had to send our forces over in Europe to basically prevent them from consuming themselves. So let us try to build a Europe that has some fundamentals of unity and economic recovery and so on, that we basically will be almost like overseeing, so that we don't have to find ourselves in a conflagration anymore trying to eat it. Because Americans are conscious, the white Americans know that a lot of them, their origins are from Europe. Donald Trump is one of the closest European descendants in terms of the amount of generations. He's a third generation European immigrant. It's his grandfather who came from Germany. Well, that was Germany before Nazi, before the Nazi thing. Came to America and made a life out of which is there. It's like the guy, like George Adam used to tell me, they have no sense of historicity about them. They're not steeped in history. They don't care about the lessons of history. They don't see the parallels of what is happening and so on that you need to take early. No. This man is all seeing things from the very how you call that, the business thing about penny pinching. You know, this is going to cost us $1 billion here. We can't afford it. But all the exports you're making of your services and all of that, it's like his mind is just completely boxed in a certain way of thinking. So, you know, I don't see why you need to talk about that, you know. But it's nice to see at least when he saw the resolve of the Europeans and so on, that seemed to have body checked him a little bit, you know, in Davos and other places. Yeah. Of course, he could just be doing it as a, what you call a feint, you know, pretending that he's backing away and then he's got all his plans worked out to go on to, next thing you know, American paratroopers and Marines and whatever have stormed Greenland and have taken it and will basically tell Denmark, well, do what you want because we have it now. You know, the same way nobody saw that Venezuela thing coming. And the same way Iran too told Iran, let's talk, let's have some talks, let's have some discussions on this matter. We'll have some bilateral talks. That was supposed to be taking place the Sunday or the Monday and the Friday or Saturday. You know, his B-21, whatever, deep penetration bombs, 10,000 pounds each and so on, were already blasting away into Iran, helping Israel's cause. So this is a guy you don't know. You know, he's not unpredictable. The guy is deliberately deceptive and so on in what he does, and his military, you know, to go and record victories and strikes. So you know, I don't know what more you can say about him. You know, before one of these days, Special Forces or SEAL Team 6 land here and come and nab me and so on, before anybody at NBC have time to say what's going on. Anyway, I'm not that important. All right, sorry. It looks like. Did you get the sense that the people have not really woken?
No, I'm not. There's still a feel-good thing in the country. And
they haven't really woken up and so on and all of that, you know. I guess the fatigue and, like I say, the season and all people are. But I think we're taking a call which is likely to be our last. It's a person that I praised yesterday for having gotten away from the, you know, from the habit of trying to wait for being last on the call, but she's doing it again today. So. And it's because she know you there, you know. I can't rebuke her. So, Mani Anyekadi, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You like to take advantage of me. Good afternoon, Terry.
Good afternoon.
Shelton is such a jealous fellow, you know.
Yeah, because I know it's
And
because
when you start,
I know it's because Terry is there. I decline your good afternoon. So go ahead. So go ahead and talk to Terry.
c'est moi de m'en fauteuil ici toi, moi.
Oui, myself.
Oui, fauteuil ici toi. But here's my question. Massa.
Bali, by Terry.
Tant ça. Regardez l'argent drainage là. Et ça supposé c'est un projet pour special prosecutor. Comment? Would it be safe to ask what's up? Because prior to the last general elections, little snippets of information was coming out that the special prosecutor was working seemingly, and people were receiving whatever you call it, summonses to go to court and that kind of thing. Would it be safe to question what is going on right this minute, considering we have gone past elections, the government is continuing, but those abhorrent deeds are still there? They are still on our books. We are still paying for them. Yeah? So we want to know the status of the special prosecutor and whether we are in a position to question whether he's working or not, you know, and we need guidance in that regard. So I don't know if it is the Attorney General who has to speak to us about that, or whether it is the Prime Minister who should be questioned at the pre-cabinet briefing. But hey, we are at the point where we need to know what happened to our money.
Okay.
Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you very much. You as well.
Thank you.
Let's take a final call on the landline. Real issues. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Shalom, good afternoon. Let me ask this question. Would it be, in a sense, asking the question after 3 years? And I believe, Sheldon, I believe St. Lucian at large has to come out and talk. I think the Prime Minister owes that to the nation. This set of corruption that occurred in this small island of ours, 238 square miles, millions of dollars. You could recall the Prime Minister at the time was on national television boasting that he had borrowed $500 million. Would it be, I mean, when you hear this fiasco about the judging, and you know, I supported you along, and I am so much, and I'm in harmony with you, this should never be rested. You cannot rest that. You just cannot afford to rest that. This tells you this country have a class. Politicians is about that, and permanent secretaries, because the politician did not sign the check, you know. They did not sign the check. It was approved by politicians. The permanent secretaries was the one who did all the things. Has these guys also gotten very rich? Because how is it? And the Prime Minister needs to address that. Needs to make the nation understand where we are at now. What is this gentleman is up to? What is he doing? 3 years has passed. We're going on the 4th year. That is second administration. I personally have a massive problem with that. Little man cannot be going to jail by picking a banana mango down the road there. He's going to take a dose of jail. And politicians are elected by the people, are supposed to be responsible to the people's finances, and they have gotten exceedingly rich. And it's like nothing is being done for that, and nothing is being said for that. It's like hush, and sweeping it underneath the carpet. Alan Shatley must respond, must answer. Why is it $7 million for the vaccine? Now, there was another $20 million that time.
You have to hurry to wrap up here. We're coming to the end of the time.
What is the condition of those monies? We need to know where is the money that ends up bringing Panama, where it is. Are we ever going to get it, and who is responsible? Gentlemen, have a good weekend.
Okay, thank you very much. You as well. Yeah, you know, folks. I'll say something before I go, if I have some time. We need to get out of that kind of addiction we have to the uproarious things of soaps and things. Yeah. You know, there's something trending on social media now about some allegations about bullying.
Yeah.
And you could see the excitement in people. They join the discussion and like they like that and they in it. Some time ago, it was another thing about a woman who supposedly was a gage who raising the dead to go after somebody else. And people just on that and they stick on that or some topic about some woman who supposedly horning her husband. I said, but oh my goodness, it's like that becomes the conversation, the national obsession and so on. We have to learn to get. I'm not saying we can't have fun and don't enjoy, have a little laugh, you know. But we need to become more serious about serious things that concern us, our daily life, our future, our survival, that of our children, the opportunities for jobs, higher education, and the things that will really make us more stable and confident and solid as a people. You know, oh my goodness, like, but anyway, we gotta roll now. Up all about bullying, up all about see, the moon, you know, you can swell little bush, you can cool like see, whoa, like you in topic. So we have to become a little more serious about that. Anyway, that's the real issues. Terry, thank you very much.
No problem.
Appreciate it. And Jaquan as well. The lotto is coming now. We gotta go.
Draw of Friday, 23rd January 2026 will double daily grand 9, 15, 17, 18, big 4, 2, 5, 2, 1, big for multi-X 2X, pick 2, 1, 9, pick 2 multi-X 2X, 1 off 8, 4, 6, lucky 3, 4, 5, 4, lucky 3 multi-X FP.
The man, the voice, Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here.